and thereby better respond to that event, which will occur in the future. Many of you who are here today, think of your companies. Your company may be working on AI, and you may be confident that you are pretty much advanced in utilizing AI. You have begun to see the specific and positive impact of using AI. You're working on AI, you are better than other companies. You're doing sufficiently on AI. You have AI scientists. If you agree, please raise your hand. If your companies are doing enough on AI, raise your hand. If you think that you are doing enough for AI, raise your hand if you are confident. Very few, very, very few. Same question. If I ask the same question 10 years from today, I'm pretty sure a majority of you will raise your hands. Think of smartphones. 10 years ago, if I ask you whether you would use smartphones, maybe iPhone was launched into the market back then. So maybe 3 to 5% of you may have fully used smartphones. But think of what a major change it has brought within 10 years. AI will be indispensable for us. It will be taken for granted in your company, in our lifestyles. And majority of your engineers will be working with AI, for AI, or on AI. If we know that's exactly what is going to happen, you might want to take actions faster than others. You may say that, I know, we are here today. You don't have to tell me. If you think so, why not act today? Why not give everything to it? Forget everything else. Why don't you give all you have to AI? If you're not doing everything you could for AI, that's not sufficient. You underestimate the impact of AI. You're not serious enough. But there is good news for you. I'd like to introduce Eric. Eric will help you. Not just Eric, but companies like his company will emerge, many of them, and technology this company has is going to help you in the AI world. The company name is Petium. It's an interesting company led by Eric. SoftBank's Vision Fund has already made investment. It's a part of a fund. Eric, I'd like to invite CEO Eric Singh.
Okay, I'm so glad to be here and share with all of you a story about Petium. I'm Eric Singh. I'm a professor of computer science and artificial intelligence at Carnegie Mellon University. I'm also the founder and the CEO of a company called Petium. So Petium is a company that gave itself the mission of unlocking artificial intelligence from its ivory tower or from a few big players so that we can turn it into useful and usable tools, and also bring them to the playground of the operational battleground of every company that wants a revolution of their business using insights from big data for, say, prediction, decision making, and automation. And for that reason, we want Petron to be a company as your global AI engineering partner, just like ARM is for chip producers. And this vision and our technology has been recently recognized by the World Economic Forum for a Technology Pioneer Award. We are very honored for that award. It was also previously given to big companies like Google and Palantir and Airbnb. So AI as a concept, as Masa just mentioned, are now not unfamiliar with many of the business community. We have seen amazing display of AI technology, in many situations. And very often, we see performance of AI already outsmart human being in different games. But what makes AI truly attractive, in my opinion, is because it has the potential to be part of the operational workflow of many important tasks. For example, in robotics, you can expect AI to undertake dangerous and difficult tasks instead of a human being. And in healthcare, we expect AI to improve the performance and speed up the decision making. In other places like energy and environment, AI can help us to reduce cost and overhead. And in manufacturing, we also expect AI to help improving quality control and also provide capability of predictive maintenance. However, despite all this very enthusiastic promise and dreams, the reality is that very few companies nowadays are actually seeing the AI revolution and transformation happening in their own business. Instead, many people start to realize that even though we see, on the surface, a very shiny and maybe sometimes even simplistic AI application, what is actually underneath an AI solution can be a huge body of back and dirty work, which includes efforts way beyond just training a few algorithms or doing the math. You have to clean the dirty data to make them AI ready. You need to also bring the implementation to a deployment scenario where you need to worry about the computational distribution, system harmonization, fault tolerance, and so forth. And even for a mature company with a lot of resource and talents, to create a substantial AI solution can be still very hard because it is very talent and infrastructure intensive, and also it can be very time consuming. You may ask, well, I have the capital and the resource, maybe I could purchase an AI solution as it is from a vendor or provider. But the truth is that AI technology are hardly available for purchase. What you see out there may be some primitive prototypes which are limited in their flexibility, in their compatibility, scalability, maintenance, and so forth. And very often you just don't see what you are looking for at all, by those providers. So that's where Petron wants to make a change. We want to be, a company that tasks ourselves to really industrialize AI, to redesign and to produce the foundational elements of AI technology, okay, so that it can be more accessible and more usable, just like bricks and frames and nuts and bolts in civil engineering for building houses. What if we can, build AI technology and solution using such a new engineering principle, right, so that we can empower every enterprise to start, build, and manage their own AI solutions, just like and in the civil engineering domain, we manage building creations and other constructions. We believe this vision is very timely and important because, as we all know, today's AI technology is producing something that are very fragile, very expensive, and also very elaborated, which make them very hardly accessible and affordable. And this, in my opinion, are hardly an engineering or industrial product. It is more like a artisanal, handcrafted art piece. Petron, on the other hand, is going to pursue a different pathway toward AI. We want to provide you the building blocks, standardized and reusable building blocks, for you to make more sustainable and robust AI solutions. This is like in civil engineering when we build houses. To build a whole community of houses, in this case, of course, AI solutions of different kinds and different sizes, using pre-made building blocks and together with customizable assemblage, which is very different from our current practice in AI, which is more like making one building using a very old-fashioned craftsmanship. I think this vision is very promising, and it is likely to be able to carry people's expectation to see AI everywhere in the industry. And my company, Petron, was formed about 2 years ago, and we believe that we are highly qualified to undertake this vision because the company is led by technological leaders who are professors ranked at top 1 in the world for computer science and AI. And we have engineering and production teams consisting of engineers from trained and experienced from top companies. And also our R&D are driven by top researchers, many of whom are graduated from CMU with a lot of distinctions in paper awards, but now they are all ready to undertake the difficult and non-trivial engineering challenge for this ambition. Even though, as I just said, an AI solution that we are providing is built from pre-made standardized building blocks and components, it doesn't mean that we sacrifice performance. In fact, using these building blocks, you can still build very complicated, large-scale solutions that gives out performance even better than specialized systems provided in famous companies or research institutions. And here is the example of one of our products, which is an automatic image text medical report generation system. And the uniqueness of this product is that it is not only built for generating reports for medical images. With a modest amount of customization and configuration, you can turn them into generating reports for financial institutions or for other, say, security applications. And that is the beauty of using building blocks and a standard protocol for making AI, rather than using a black box kind of hardwired approach. And the potential of this approach is actually going way beyond just a single application. You can see that we've built many applications, in this case, in the space of medical healthcare. And in all these cases, we achieved state-of-the-art performance. So what makes Petron unique is that it is not a handcrafted, hardware solution made for only one problem. It is really a general purpose and universal protocol, platform and tool that can be used to target the needs and the expectations of problems from different industry deployment environment. It is agnostic to the type of data you want to use. It really can handle all different types of data using its built-in data machine for digestion and for cleaning and for feature engineering. It is also hardware agnostic. It can be deployed as it is on different types of computer infrastructure, including the edge, but also other traditional computer platforms such as a data center or a cluster through its unique technology of virtualization. So right now, we are really working very hard to build a comprehensive library or inventory of the AI building blocks, which range from the data processing to machine learning and AI algorithm and foundation, and also system harmonization, deployments, and management, so that they can meet the needs for building solutions across different industries using a holistic and universal platform. For example, our technology can be used to make solutions for the applications in self-driving vehicles, security, and quality control based on computer vision technology. But the same platform can be also used to drive problems and solutions for, say, portfolio optimizations, form ingestion, or other medical applications using NLP technology. And furthermore, the same platform is also being used now to create solutions, based on, edge data, IoT data for predictive maintenance, structural health, and also other, difficult problems in energy and environment optimizations. So we're very excited about this vision, and we hope that we can provide, a service that is robust and sustainable to all AI users. Right now, Petron is very young. We are only 2 years old, and we have now 2 offices in San Francisco and in Pittsburgh. But we are already looking into expanding our presence and business to other parts of the world, of course, including Asia. In particular, we're excited about the opportunities in Japan, because Japan is a country well known for its very world-renowned companies in industries like automotive, manufacturing, and electronics. We believe Petron can bring value to these companies, and we look forward to exploring partnership with those companies. So to summarize, we want Petron to be your global AI engineering partner, and we look forward to working with you down the road. Thank you very much.
Eric, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Eric はカーネギーメロン大学の
So he is from the Carnegie Mellon University. He is a professor of AI, very well-known professor too. His students have been working in the various famous companies and head of the AI development departments. And Eric himself decided to start a company, and the professors at the Carnegie Mellon universities and also a group of students are now working in this Petium. And when you develop AI yourself, you have to have tools and a development environment and also consultation services. And the Petium can help you to develop your AI. Your productivity will increase tremendously. So now moving on to each different industries. For example, starting from manufacturing industry. If you look back the history, the manufacturing started from the manual production of a product. But now human beings are working with machines to create the product. But in the future, it is going to be automated manufacturing with AI. So even in the same manufacturing industry, the human can just control the facility. And rather than humans are controlling everything, the AI can control the mechanics and then robots, and the AI analyze the result and drive the manufacturing industry itself. The era will come soon. The SoftBank has been investing into robotics companies. And you may say that you just began your work in robotics. There are many special companies in robots. Why do you have to work in robotics? But I would say that existing robotic companies didn't really take advantage of artificial intelligence. So even it is a smartphone, I would say it is almost like a before smartphone, the regular cell phones. So what we are working on is smart robot, not regular robot. We are interested in only smart robot, not older robot. The robots which are controlled by humans are not our interest. Our interest is the robot which can handle everything themselves. They automatically ingest information, understand it, analyze it, and move accordingly. So that type of robotics is our interest. So up to now, human had to work 8 hours a day. So the factory is based on the human's work shift, and human beings has always the sources of the high cost. And inventory, sometimes error takes place because of the human-oriented error, and just-in-time was rather difficult to be maintained. But when it becomes 100% automated manufacturing, and then 24 hours a day, they can create the product, almost no errors, and low cost of operations, and also optimization of the inventories are made automatically so that there will be no waste.
And mobility, transportation. You may want to transport people or goods. As I have repeatedly said, AI can be utilized to predict the future demand based on weather and past event data. In Japan, the ride sharing is prohibited by law. It's incredible. Our country in Japan does not allow ride share. The future of the world is now being prohibited by our national government. It's the government that stops the evolution toward the future. I want to emphasize that in public. I know that the government would criticize me, but I like to say that this is almost stupid. Governments try to protect the past, therefore deny the future. It's unthinkable. We had illegal taxi drivers that we had to control in the past, but it's not illegal taxi versus legal taxi. What we want to do is to reduce traffic congestion, reduce traffic incident, match demand and supply much better. In US, in China, in other countries, in Europe, now there is this rideshare evolution taking place. We would like to have Jean from Didi explain their rideshare too. In our SoftBank group, we are connected with Uber, Grab in Southeast Asia, and Ola in India. 4 major top rideshare companies are all SoftBank Group's family members. If you look at GMV of these companies, they are doubling year on year. If this continues on in 3 years or 4 years' time from today, GMV will be same as the volume that Amazon today enjoys. I'm pretty sure Amazon will be bigger in 3 years or 4 years. But the 4 companies' total GMV will reach the same level of the same Amazon's volume. But we are growing much faster than Amazon, and we have the gross margin that's bigger than Amazon. I am pretty confident that these 4 companies will strengthen their presence in many parts of the world. The number of trips is over 35 million trips every day. I'm pretty sure today, this was the last year's number. Today it will be over 40 million. So very happy to welcome Jean from Didi.
Good morning, everyone. Ohayo gozaimasu. It's great to be here today to meet with old friends and new friends. And hearing Masa's view about future is always the most inspiring and exciting part for all entrepreneurs, I believe. And I also think the future of AI is fascinating. And the most exciting part about AI is how it can serve humanity better. So here we are going to talk about how we are leveraging AI to improve the quality lives and how we can leverage AI to redefine transportation. Masa started with his story with the universe 14 billion years ago. I'm going to start the story with the beautiful city, Beijing. This is Beijing, and it's my most loved city, my hometown. From the height of 300 meters, you can see it's so beautiful and modern and charming, just like Tokyo. However, if you zoom in a little bit, it looks like this. And this is the challenge facing all major cities globally. Like, from New York to Sao Paulo to Jakarta, we all face the same issue. On one hand, cities become bigger, more people want to enjoy better city life, but the existing public transportation infrastructure just cannot support the growing demand of people. And on the other hand, unfortunately, the city cannot hold more cars. And for Beijing, take Beijing as an example, we have 30 million people in Beijing. We have 6 million cars. But unfortunately, we only have 3 million legit parking lots. And that's why many big cities are restricting license plate, while people still enjoy driving a nice Buick or Cadillac. However, in some cities like Singapore, Shanghai, the cost of the license plate itself is more expensive than a nice car. So that's the dilemma, the challenge we face right now. So how we can provide a more comfortable, convenient, safe ride to everyone, while the government doesn't need to build millions of parking lots. How we can leave more rooms for trees and parks and hospitals. So this is an issue we are trying to solve here. And our ultimate solution is an AI-empowered transportation platform. And this is a one-stop transportation platform. You can see, with one click on this app, you actually can get a nice Chevy Cadillac to a taxi, to a carpool, to a bus, or even to a bike ride. And it's so convenient that people find the transportation more pleasant than before. And now this transportation platform is already the largest transportation platform worldwide. And we will transport over 10 billion trips a year. And we provide job opportunities to over 30 million drivers and with 500 million users every year. However, we think this is just the start. And the industry is still in a very infancy stage. Because out of the $1.3 trillion Chinese consumers spend on cars every year, only 3% is spent on Didi's network or this transportation platform. And if we compare to the 15% penetration of e-commerce in China, we think we still have huge room to grow. So by very conservative assumption, we would estimate in the next 5 years, we are going to grow the trip number from 10 billion trips a year to 50 billion trips a year. And we're not just solving the problem in China. We are also invested in partnering with a number of companies globally, including Grab, Ola, Lyft, Taxify, 99. As we believe the algorithm we trained and tested in the most complex and demanding market as China, we can use the algorithm and AI technology to benefit other markets. And together on this network, we already serve 60% of the population on this planet. So as I mentioned, big data and AI is the key to tackle the issue. To build this platform, we feel really lucky as every day we collect 120 million mileage of data, and that means we collect 100 terabytes of transaction data, and we process 40 billion terabytes of routing requests every day. And with this massive amount of data, an AI system is built to redefine technology. And now we see how we redefine it. How is AI redefined? First, safety. Transportation is very different from all other industries. Safety always comes the first. And every year, there's 1.2 million people die from road accidents. And that's the number bigger than the combined of guns and drugs and plane crash. And that's not the right thing to do. So we try to fix it. We want to reduce this number. That's why, with the permission of our drivers, we install SDK on their smartphone so that we can learn their driving behavior. And our AI system study how drivers turn, accelerate, brake, and they find correlation between the accidents and wrong driving behavior. So as you can see, we have set the safety score for each driver, and we reward the good drivers, safe drivers, with better income, and we also design specific training and advisory program for them to make sure they can keep driving safely. And with this, we also can work with insurance companies better, that we can design better insurance product for our drivers. So with all these efforts, as of today, we have lowered the road accident rate from the global average 1.6 people per 100 million miles to 0.6 per 100 million miles. What does it mean? It means for every 100 million miles driven, AI saved one life. And redefine experience. For transportation, the problem is there's always limited supply, and people are impatient. Unlike shopping online from Alibaba, Tmall, you can wait for hours for goods to be delivered to you. However, for transportation, when people need to leave, they want to leave right now. And for example, after the event today, I'm sure there will be lots of people who want to leave this beautiful hotel. However, if there's 100 requests, but only 20 cars, we will never be able to make it. So it requires our system to be able to predict demand. So we need to understand how many requests will come out of this hotel even before the passengers click the button. So this is how our data scientists and AI technology scientists do it. We divide the cities into hundreds and thousands of cells. And the AI system study, for each cell, they study in the rainy day, sunny day, weekday, weekend day, how many requests coming out of this place, to which direction, how many coming in. And gradually, with machine learning technology, it gets smarter and smarter. So now at Didi, we can predict the demand coming out of each area 15 minutes ahead of time with 85% accuracy. Cost, of course, with this intelligent dispatching system, predictive algorithm, we improve the utilization of drivers. And that will help us to charge less for each trip for passenger, but still provide better income for drivers on a per hour basis. So, and also the carpool project, our carpool technology aims to put more people into fewer cars. And as you can imagine, the driver can charge 1.4 times, earn 1.4 times of normal fare if he can pick up 2 passengers who share the same route. And for each passenger, they only need to pay 70% of the normal fare. So both driver and passengers are happy. And right now, actually in the old days, if we didn't have the predictive algorithm, we don't have the AI technology, we don't have sophisticated routing and mapping technology, carpooling was only an idea. It cannot really implement at large scale. But right now at DiDi, over 6 million trips are carpool trips, and we estimate it will grow to over 50% of our trips. Of course, quality of service, as we collect billions of customer ratings, we understand and design very individualized, incentivized program for each driver so they can drive better and serve better for our users. And you can see this is the scorecard, service scorecard we give to every driver. One of the benefit we learned, in addition to serving 30 million passengers a day, is the massive quantity of data. And if we put all the trips completed on China map, it looks like this. And we realize, for consumers, we can make transportation more pleasant. We can also do something for city governors. That's why we provide, a cloud-based smart city management system for mayors in China. I take this traffic light system as an example. So basically, our system, our AI system, can collect real-time data from each car so that the AI system can assess the congestion situation for different key crossroads. And then we can optimize the changing time for the traffic lights. And that's what we have been doing. We tried this in a city called Jinan in China. It's a city with 7 million people. After trying 3 months, we already lowered the congestion time for key crossroads for 20 to 30%. And the mayor loved this. So they handled all the 1,000 lights to us. And now we are working with 20 cities in China to improve the traffic system. Oh, let me see if I can. This is an important page. In addition to what we are doing with AI, we also work with partners from car industry to empower the auto industry. So we have set up this auto solution business unit, which we help our drivers, our car owners to get better access to the cars, to the charging service, to the maintenance and the financing service. And at the same time, we also help our car makers to understand the individual specific need of our car owners. And we set up this alliance and have been working with 30 car makers and charging an EV. Now DiDi is the largest EV fleet, which we operate 260,000 EV cars. And we estimate that number to grow to 1 million in 2020. And we are also setting up this mobile-based charging station that the driver can book available slots so that they don't need to wait at the charging station. So the next generation of cars, we're more than happy to work with Dan and other car makers to design the next generation of cars so that it can be designed for sharing, designed for passengers, not only for drivers. Autonomous driving technology, this is the most exciting part. We have strong conviction in it, and we believe this is the ultimate solution to kill car accident, just like antibiotics kill disease. However, we also think this is huge responsibility as human has very low tolerance for robot to make mistakes. Then human makes mistakes. So we need to be very careful. That's why we have been working and we are open to work with all the technology solution provider. We ourselves have set up research lab in Mountain View, in Wuxi, and in Beijing, and we're inviting the top world talents to tackle the technology issue in autonomous driving. Lastly, this is how we define the transportation. It can be safer, it will be cheaper, and it will be cleaner. It will be more comfortable. Given the time, last but not least, we're setting up this joint venture with SoftBank, and our vision is to empower the traditional taxi industry. As in China and in Brazil, we are already empowering the taxi industry there with the big data, with the AI technology. We hope we can increase the utilization and efficiency of the taxi industry. We are very thrilled with this collaboration. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Great. 素晴らしいですね。
Wonderful. DD is sometimes described as the rideshare company, but the rideshare company